This map shows the maximum range of China's land-based conventional strike missiles in 2015. Less than a decade later, that range has doubled, putting all American bases in the Asia-Pacific, including Guam, within the range of precision missiles fired from the Chinese mainland. A secretive Chinese military unit is responsible for that expansion and now controls one of the largest and most diverse land-based missile forces in the world. Details of the force are some of China's most tightly guarded secrets. But Western intelligence agencies and researchers have revealed evidence of its dramatic rise.
China has rapidly increased its missile arsenal. This is a menacing challenge to the United States.
In August 2023, Chinese leader Xi Jinping suddenly ousted and replaced the head of an opaque military unit called the Rocket Force. China's leaders have tasked this force with its highest military objective: preparing for a possible invasion of Taiwan and deterring the United States from intervening. In recent years, the force has test-launched hundreds of ballistic missiles at a rate that has exceeded the rest of the world combined. Alexander Neal is a former defence analyst for the British government.
The PLA Rocket Force has 6 bases spread across China, in an arc in the south, which are responsible for a potential Taiwan conflict, then up in the northeast, which is responsible for Korean Peninsula and targeting Japan. There's a dedicated base in central China, and finally a base which is responsible for the northwest of China.
On top of these 6 main bases, which are numbered from 61 to 66, the Rocket Force also has several supporting bases, one of which is regarded as the most important.
Base 67 is the most secretive of the PLA Rocket Force bases, the guardian of China's strategic nuclear deterrent.
Little is known about the base in Baoji City in central China, but bunkers dug into the Jingling mountain range on the outskirts of the city houses most of China's nuclear warheads stockpile.
From Base 67, the warheads are subsequently distributed by rail all across China, northwest, northeast, and into the south, across the brigades responsible for launch and deployment of the nuclear deterrent.
The bases in China's north are tasked with maintaining nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missiles focused on targets on the US mainland.
A number of scientists looking at civilian imagery spotted 3 new missile silo fields under development. The silo fields are based in very desertified areas outside of Hami, Yumen City and Ordos City.
Silos are built as circular tubes into the ground and contain propellants to launch missiles.
You can see here the Ordos silo field, which is typically made up of about 100 silos here. An important aspect of silo fields is something called a shell game. You might have 100 silos, but you may fill only 50% of them. And the adversary has to calculate which of those silos are armed in order to make a calculation for a counter-strike. And a shell game is designed to keep the adversary guessing, and also to reserve your own number of warheads as well.
The construction in Ordos, Hami and Yumen is thought to be the most extensive build-up of missile silos since the Cold War. If China mounts nuclear warheads on missiles in these silos, it would present a huge strategic shift for US military planners.
You can see here that the arc of the 3 silo fields is designed to launch missiles over the North Pole and to the continental United States.
All this could give Beijing the military capability to deter Washington from engaging China militarily in the event of an invasion of Taiwan. The Rocket Force recently demonstrated its capability to strike Taiwan during a conflict.
Subordinate to Base 61 are a number of brigades involved in the targeting of Taiwan during missile tests when Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan in August 2022.
China conducted several days of military exercises.
A number of short and intermediate range missiles were launched into exclusion zones to the north and south of Taiwan. One of them was to the eastern seaboard, and there were also some short-range rocket firings between Taiwan and Fujian province.
China has been building up its missile capacity near Taiwan for years, but drills during Pelosi's visit demonstrate the rocket force's new capability to target the entire periphery of Taiwan.
These brigades are one of the sharpest tools in their arsenal to mount a devastating missile attack on the island, to blockade the island, to close off shipping lanes, and to mount a stranglehold on the island during times of political sensitivity.
China views Taiwan's autonomy and its links with the US as a geostrategic vulnerability.
So if we flip the map, it depicts the challenge that China is facing. It's hemmed in to some degree by the first island chain, and to a lesser extent by the second island chain. It's a dilemma of oceanic geography, but in a military sense, this is why the rocket force is so important. The rocket force would play a key role to prevent intervention of the United States and allies were war to break out over Taiwan.
The rocket force has developed missiles capable of striking US forces coming to Taiwan's aid within the first and second island chains. One of these is the Dongfeng 26, known as the Carrier Killer. The weapon has been deployed to a number of brigades, posing a challenge to the US.
The DF-26 can be either conventionally armed or nuclear armed. It can accurately target bases like Guam, but it can also target an aircraft carrier strike group. So this presents a major challenge for the United States in terms of its counter-intervention campaign.
The Biden administration has said US forces will support Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion. China's rocket force now presents a serious threat to the US's ability to do that, dramatically raising the stakes in any conflict over the island. China's Ministry of Defense did not respond to a request for comment.
Alright, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Campaign Trinidad with another video, another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So first and foremost, Kal Halayam La Allah Hayanawa Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakaha Kodash Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great milestone natural well. Peace, blessing, salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled blood Israelites, shalom unto the very few but faithful of Watia. Alright, so the title for this video, alright, this lesson is The Mighty Man is Surely Preparing. Alright, the mighty man is surely preparing. Pursuant to Joel, usual scriptures, right? Joel chapter 3 and verse 9, where it reads, Joel 3 and 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Alright, and this is what we are seeing, the mighty man is preparing. Alright, China is preparing for a possible clash, an imminent clash. Alright, an imminent clash. Okay, let's take a little detour here. Let's take a little detour here. Yeah, imminent. Alright. It says impending, at hand, close, near, approaching, fast approaching, coming, about to happen upon us. Alright? Yeah, war is upon us. Alright? War is upon us. All out war, world war. Alright? On the horizon. So I like this last expected, anticipated. All right, because this is what is coming. Okay, this is what is coming. This is what is coming. All right, and China is making sure and be prepared because they know they are going to go out into war, not just only with Taiwan but with America. All right, because of the controversy that they are having with Taiwan. All right, just as China sees Tibet. All right, just as China sees Tibet as part of their province or their territories. The same thing with Taiwan. All right. Is the same thing with Taiwan. China is not recognizing the so-called independence of Taiwan. Well, to the younger brothers and sisters who now coming in, and they want to know, where's the reason for China not recognizing the sovereignty of Taiwan, and why China is hell-bent on invading Taiwan and bringing Taiwan into one with China. You have to understand, after World War II, that's a brief little history. After World War II, let me see if I could get this here. Babakasha. Alright, after World War II, you had a civil war within China. Let me see something here. Bear with me. The TWOWARING factors of the China. What the hell? CHINA. China Civil. Yep. All right. So let's take a look at this a bit. All right, to give you a brief understanding of so it says here. Bear with me. This nonsense here. Stop seeing this odd. Odd was inappropriate. Alright. Good. Fuck. Alright, so it says Chinese Civil War from 1945. Alright, because this was just after World War II. To 1949 was a military struggle for control of China waged between nationalists Kuomintang under Chiang Kai-shek, all right, and the communists under Mao Zedong. Now, the nationalists, they were funded by the West. They were funded by America and its Western allies and what have you. All right, they wanted they were the ones that under the illusion of democracy. They were under the order of so-called democracy and what have you. Alright? Bear with me. What the fuck, boy? Trying to get away from them ads. Alright, so. Alright? Fuck that, yes. Yeah, so But Mao Zedong, he was under he was being funded by the Soviets and what have you, because the Soviets were they were communists. All right, so let's see something here. I don't know why this thing don't come off, anybody. All right, so it says during the second Japanese War 1937 to 45, which was actually World War II. Alright, so that at the end of World War II and the collapse of the United Front, China was effectively divided into three regions: Nationalist China under control of the government, Communist China, and the areas occupied by Japan. Right? Because remember, China was under Japanese occupation during World War II. All right. Each was essentially pitted against the other two. Although Chinese military forces were ostensibly allied under the banner of the United Front, by the time Japan accepted the surrender terms of the Potsdam Declaration on August 14, 1945, China had endured decades of Japanese occupation and 8 years of brutal warfare. Millions had perished in combat and many millions more had died as a result of the starvation or disease. The end of World War II did not mark the end of conflict in China. However, Japan's defeat set off a race between the nationalists, which was the Western bloc, all right, under democracy, and communist control for vital resources and population centers in northern China and Manchuria. Nationalist troops using transportation facilities of the U.S. military, all right, because the nationalists, they were backed by the U.S. and Great Britain and what have you. They were backed by the beasts, all right, the U.S. and EU and NATO, all right. Military, the U.S. military were able to take over key cities and most railway lines in East and North China. Communist troops occupy much of the hinterland in the north, and in Manchuria, the United Front had always been precarious, and it had been a tactically, tacitly understood by both the nationalists and communists that they would cooperate until Japan had been defeated. All right. So this was going on this was going on all during the course of World War II. They were agreements with each other, whatnot, so forth. All right, because they had one common goal, which was to at least get the Japanese out. But when the Japanese left, all hell started to break loose. All right, until then, neither side could afford to seem to pursue internal aims at the cost of the national struggle. The growing wartime ineffectiveness and cooperation of the nationalists, who seemed, especially to the North Chinese, practically a government in exile in far-off Chongqing, left the communists on a rising tide in 1945. All right, so the stage was set for the renewal of the Civil War, but it initially appeared that a negotiated settlement between the nationalists and communists might be possible even before the Japanese surrender had been finalized, blah, 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 blah. So you could go ahead and read, your brothers and sisters could go and research it even more. But to make a long story short, I'll just give you all a rough summary there. But to make a long story short, is because of the Civil War and the communists, all right, the communist faction, all right, was able to defeat the nationalists, the ones who were being backed by the U.S. They were the ones who were being backed by the U.S. They were defeated, and they end up retreating. After their defeat, they end up retreating to where you know now as Taiwan. All right, they were defeated, and what have you, and they left and migrated to there, to where you now know as Taiwan and what have you, so forth. All right, but the communists, they don't recognize Taiwan as being an independent nation and democracy, and what they see it as one China, Taiwan, and Tibet and whatnot, as one China. All right, and the posture that China been holding for the very long for the longest while is that if the so-called Taiwanese cannot come to peaceful terms in reuniting, all right, Taiwan into China, incorporated Taiwan into China as one China, is going to be done by forceful means. All right, and you see, this is the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yeah? This is the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, bringing the way he have been setting up the ultimate judgment for all these nations. The way how he has been lining up everything for decades back, that is leading up to now to this all-time confrontation. All right, this is how we been. This is the main driving force into bringing down Babylon the Great. All this is what is going to lead into the destruction of Babylon the Great, which is America. All right, because although with the defeat, all right, America still allied themselves with Taiwan and give them the assurance that should China invade, should China, bring forth military actions against Taiwan, all right, that America is going to come to the aid. America is going to come in solidarity, just as the Korean War, all right. Same thing like the Korean War between North Korea, South Korea, where the North sees the whole Korean peninsula as one, and the South they don't want to be under communist rule, so forth. They want to be under a rule of democracy, which is democracy is false, is a farce. All right, and it's also the same thing as the Vietnam War. All right, where America they do the whole shalabala, to keep the North separated from the South. All right, where the North sees the whole Vietnam as one. All right, but the plans didn't work out there with Vietnam. All right, they were defeated. They had was to vacate. They had was to leave out of Vietnam, hightail it out of Vietnam, and the North came in and crushed the South, and hence now Vietnam is one and under communist rule to this day, and America took a long while before they could have recognized the independence of Vietnam. All right, and it just goes to show, the always in everybody's business. These Edomites, they're always in everybody's business. They never keep it at home. They never see about their own affairs. All right, they never study to take the smut out of their eye before they could take the smut out of someone else's own. All right, and always about causing trouble. Everywhere they go is death and hell. Because the Vietnam War didn't just stay in Vietnam. All right, the Vietnam War, it spilled over into Cambodia and what have you, with Henry Kissinger killing millions of people with the bomb raids and whatnot, the napalm bombs and all these things. All right, Cambodia and Laos and whatnot, so forth. All right, it didn't just stay in Vietnam. All right, millions to this day, a lot of children is being born with birth defects and whatnot because of the effects of the chemicals from all these bombings. All right, the millions of tons of bombs that they dropped on Cambodia and Laos and what have you, so forth. All right, under the orders of Henry Kissinger, deceased, who was recently deceased. You understand? But you see, the thing about it is, the Lord, there was a video that I did a while back on China self, pursuant to the new set of Dongfengs. All right, and I had went into Wikipedia pursuant to when they started the nuclear program and what have you, so forth. And the guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy that was responsible for the nuclear, for China's nuclear program, he had said something that is actually written in the scriptures, within this very said scripture here that I'm reading. So I'm going to read over Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears," which is what? Your GDP, all right? Focus your GDP, upon strengthening your military, all right? But this is what the guy said. "Let the weak say, I am strong." And this is what he said. We are no longer looked at as weak anymore. We are strong. Because why? What you have is a leveling of the playing field. All right, where it's no longer America and Britain and what have you. These Edomites is no longer alone. These Edomites having nuclear power, nuclear arm. All right. But also Elam, also Moab, all right, they are also nuclear armed. You understand what I'm saying? "Assemble yourselves, come all ye heathen, gather yourselves together round about hither, cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. All right, let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat," which is, all right, in the Middle East there, all right, in the Arabian desert. All right, "for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." Okay, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great." All right, so this is what it is. All right, the Lord is preparing these nations. China is preparing drastically, because they know a war with America is imminent, because they are going to invade Taiwan. Okay, they are going to invade Taiwan. Maybe this year, maybe next year. All right, but it is going to be invaded. Yeah, it is going to be invaded. And America will be forced out. All right, America will be forced out. Okay, let's take a look at 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and I will start from verse 1. 2nd Ezra 16 and 1, it reads, "Woe unto thee, Babylon and Asia." All right, and Asia. Okay, because it's all out war that is going to take place in the very near future. "Woe be unto the Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, and bewail your children, and be sorry." Because why? All right, there's going China. I think China, they still, just as Vietnam. All right, they still as how they are communists. They still They still go under conscription laws, all right, with being drafted into the military and whatnot, so forth, all right, along with North Korea, all right, Russia also, okay. Now America, they still have it. It's just that they was not enforcing it. The last time they enforced it was during the Vietnam War, all right. But this war that is coming up, all right, this war of attrition that is coming up, they will have no choice but in order to beef up their military, all right, with the quota of men that they will need to go to war, all right, a drafting process will be taking place. So it says, all right, bewail your children, all right, because of those military draft that is going to take place, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back. All right? And this is not just only for Babylon, where that sword, which is the thermonuclear missile, That's the only thing that Babylon is going to be totally destroyed. But China also is going to be hit with missiles, with thermonuclear missiles. Alright, China also is going to be hit with missiles. Because at the ending of it all, it's all about judgment from the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or may any quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot from an archer, from a strong archer? No. Because when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai does his work, alright, there is no one that could undo it. Okay? There is no one that could undo it. This is prophecy that is imminent. Just as the war is imminent, the prophecies of the Most High is imminent. Because the war is prophecy. Alright, the war that is about to take place is prophecy. You understand? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? Yeah? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Yeah, strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp. Alright, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp. And hey, this very said scripture here is going to show you that it is not literal arrows. Let's continue. And shall not miss when they begin to shoot into the ends of the world. Alright? So they're showing that it is not literal arrows, but what? A metaphor for the missiles, the warheads. Alright? Because which archer in the world could shoot a literal arrow from China all the way to mainland America, mainland Babylon? None. There is none. Alright? So what this is speaking about? It is speaking about those missiles. Alright? There was some years back, I did a video pursuant to China and the silos that they have been building in the Chinese desert. Alright? And this little clip that I just played there, you know, where the guys show you all throughout, you know, they have silos. Alright, they have over 100 silos, and within those 100 silos, you know, not all is armed, you know, because if they arm all, well, then the enemy will know to target all. But they arm some and leave some unarmed, so the enemy would have a tough time into finding out, you know, which one is armed to which one is unarmed. This is chess that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is playing. And these nations, they are going to find out. Alright, these nations, they are going to find out. This is what it is, man. This is what it is. It's war. It's war. Let's take a look at Jeremiah 51, Salakia. Jeremiah chapter 51, start at 1, Jeremiah 51 and 1, it reads, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against thee a destroying wind. And what is that destroying wind? The missiles. Alright? And will send unto Babylon fanners, alright, fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. All right? Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, which is the missile, the archer. All right? The archer is China, North Korea, all right, Iran, Russia, even her allies. Even her allies, that is nuclear armed. All right? And against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. All right, verse 8, Salakia. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare the work of the Lord. Make bright the arrows. Yeah, make bright the arrows. Gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, which is the Russians. All right? And with the Russians, all right, they are allies. Okay? For his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance, all right, it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, all right, which is America. Make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, which is who? America. They're all over the world. They're all over the world with the military bases. You understand? All throughout the Pacific and what have you, with the military bases literally surrounding China. The same strategy what they're using at Russia. All right, we're having all the military bases surrounding Russia. All right, and bringing in countries that are surrounding Russia into NATO. Same strategy what they use with using with Iran, with all these so-called Middle Eastern countries that surrounding Iran, where they have all the military bases. All right, along with China. All right. But you see, the thing is, the Lord at the Yahweh Hashem Yashai has laid a snare for them, and they was not aware of that snare. Okay? They was not aware of that snare. All right? O thou dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come. Thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. Yeah? The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men. Yeah? Because America is going to be invaded. Okay? America is going to be, a matter of fact, they're already being invaded with that situation, with that border crisis right now. It's not just so-called refugees or, who's seeking to so-called gain a better life, live the American dream. You know how much spies and mercenaries and whatnot, so forth, come within those groves of people there, those droves of people there. Come on, man. Right? Surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars. And what a caterpillar does, a caterpillar devours. All right? When you have an infestation of caterpillars on your plants and whatnot, so forth, what they do, they devour your plants. All right, you have a what do you call it again? A field, a field with vegetation, and whatnot. What they does, they devour it. A crop field, they devour it. Alright, and this is what is going to take place in America. They are going to be devoured. Alright, and they shall lift up and shout against thee. This is what it is. Alright. Now, the Lord, as I said, the Lord is going to deal with China and whatnot, China and Iran, and the Lord is going to deal with all these nations. He's going to destroy all these nations, man. All right. But his main purpose of doing this is actually to bring down America, Babylon the Great, which is ruled by Esau Edom, the daughter of Babylon. You understand? The daughter of Babylon. This is what it is. And he's going to do it by the way of thermonuclear fire. Because this war, Isaiah 9 and 5, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments roll in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. This is what this war is going to entail. Fire, thermonuclear fire, is going to start as a hot conventional war. Alright? Hot conventional, non-conventional war. Alright? When I say conventional, non-conventional, conventional as in military against military. Alright? Non-conventional where all these militant groups, because it's not just going to be, as I've been saying this for years, I've been saying this since 2018. Since 2018, it is not only going to be with war, America and its allies, going to war against Russia, China, North Korea, and the likes of such the BRICS nations and whatnot, so forth. It's not just with that there. That is a conventional war, military against military. All right, with all its ranks, from sergeant, from private, private first class, your corporal, your lance corporal, your sergeant, your lieutenant, your major, your captain, or I should say your captain, your major, your sergeant major, your lieutenant colonel, your generals, and not just only going to be with that. You see all these militant groups from your Al-Shabaab, your Boko Haram, all right, your Hezbollah, your Hamas, your Al Qaeda, your Taliban. Well, the Taliban they have transitioned now into a full military now, a full-fledged military now. They are no longer a ragtag militant group. All right, they are no longer a ragtag militant group. They have become a full-fledged military. And they're doing their best to become even much more organized. You understand? So, this is what it is. The Lord is not playing. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is not playing, man. You understand? He is not playing. I'm going to Jeremiah chapter 50. And 1, Jeremiah 50 and 1, the word of the Lord that spake against Babylon, against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not, don't hide it. Alright, and these nations, we declare it, we're not hiding it, and also these nations is letting their intentions be known. Alright, they are letting their intentions be known. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Moradok is broken in pieces. This is America and their idols, and their witchcraft. Alright, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which is the Russians, alright, along with the Chinese and what have you, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. Alright, because America is going to be utterly destroyed. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. There's what it is. Verse 8, I jump into verse 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goat before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations, an assembly of great nations. All right, an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. All right, because this is the Most High's purpose. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, which is America, and all that spoilers shall be satisfied, said the Lord. There's going to be, there's going to be happy. There's going to be properly well satisfied. There's going to be like, hey, this was a job well done. Because ye were glad because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, which is what? The children of Israel. Because this is what the Lord is really doing. This is why the Lord is bringing this great judgment in it, because for all what they have done unto the children of Israel. All right? Because ye are grown fat as a heifer at grass and bellows of bulls. Yeah, they wax fat with riches by the way of greed, by murder, thief, robbery. You understand? Your mother, which is England, shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness and a dry land and a desert. This is what is coming to America. Utter destruction, total destruction. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her. Spare no arrows. Spare no arrows, no warheads. All right? All is going to hit upon America. For she had sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. She had given her hand for foundation. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she had done. Do unto her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. You understand? Let me see something here. Yeah, I will leave it at that. I will go over now to 2nd Esdras 15 and 20, which is the last scripture. 2nd Esdras 15 and 20. Alright. 2nd Esdras 15 and 20. This is what it reads. It says what? Behold, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, all these heathen nations, which are from this rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, to turn themselves one against another, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. Who is it them? Which is us, the children of Israel. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom. Thus said the Lord. So the Lord is calling all these nations. All right, all these nations. He's letting all of them be prepared, man. All of them is preparing themselves militarily, for the great day, that Armageddon, that day of Armageddon, that mountain of truth. All right? So, I hope you all was edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. The nations are preparing, man. The mighty men are preparing. China is preparing. Because they are going to invade Taiwan. Kal Halayam, La Alahaya Nawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakaha Kodash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai. Tapalatia Shemai Aita, Babakwasha, Tawada, Tamyad, Tawab Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.